Hello, everyone. As you can tell, I changed it up this week a little bit. But it's only because the conversation I wanted to have or the topic I wanted to have is very, very personal to me. It's something that many weren't aware that it was something that I was actually trying to work on myself. And I was asked recently a question, and it's the reason that I decided that I was going to go ahead and do a video about it. I listen to what I call messages. I feel that I read messages in different ways, and I took this as a message that I needed to share this with others. Even though it's not easy for me to share, it wasn't easy for me to realize it. But I wanted to go ahead and share, and maybe it'll help someone else. So I was asked a question: what does growth mean to me currently, now? Not in the past, not for the future. What is growth? What growth period am I going through right now? That's the question I was asked. And I was literally reached out to because it was something that they thought I had seen. They thought I had seen the question posed. And I really, sometimes we look at things on social media that we make sure and support the person, but we don't pay attention exactly to the exact question. If we're busy or what have you, it doesn't mean that we're not it's not intentional at all for me. But they reached out to me specifically and asked me, they wanted me to answer their question. They wanted my insight. So I took it as a message for myself. And the question they were asking was, what does growth mean for me currently in my life? And this was my answer, my short answer, because in comments we have to have a short answer. So my short answer was, growth for me right now means softening without shrinking, learning to pause before I speak, listen more, and trust that I don't have to control everything to stay strong. So my growth check-in is learning to soften, listen, and let God lead. Lately, I've been on a quiet but powerful journey, one that doesn't always show on the outside, but it's changing everything on the inside. God has been showing me the beauty of pausing before I speak, softening my heart without losing my strength, and learning to respond with grace instead of always needing to control the outcome. I think the biggest part of it all is learning to listen with intention, learning to listen without feeling that I'm being attacked, right? This growth, it's not about weakness, it's about wisdom, about trusting that I don't always need to lead with defense, but with discernment. This is, as I mentioned, deeply, deeply personal for me, but I wanted to share it in case someone else is in a season where God is teaching you to unlearn survival mode and step into peace. We don't have to be guarded to be strong. I know that's harder, easier said than done. Sometimes the softest version of you is the one that's most aligned with God's purpose. So let me share some just thoughts to start out with. Okay. So that was a lot. Okay. That was a lot for me. Um, and so before I unpack that, let me go ahead and just let you know that you're not alone out there. You're not alone. Okay. I had to take a little breather. It was a lot for me. So I'm going to share, as I mentioned, a few thoughts for you. Softening without shrinking. For me, it's been heart work, soul work, God led growth. God led growth. I've been learning that growth doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet decision to pause, reflect, and soften. I used to lead with control. Now I'm learning to lead with grace and let God guide the rest. Softness isn't weakness. It's strength that no longer needs to prove itself. My real desire, that someone would see the good in me and be drawn closer to God because of it. To anyone else unlearning survival mode, you're not alone. This is what healing looks like. Stay soft, stay strong, let God lead. Growth is happening even when no one sees it. So I wanted to take a minute to talk about a different kind of growth. I've talked in my series all about my journey, all about my weight loss journey, about the fears that I had in it, about the things in my life that held me from moving forward or tried to hold me from moving forward, the things that I did to overcome those things, overcome the fears, which was mainly placing God as a foundation in my life. And that is something that no one is perfect at. No one on this earth is perfect at. But it's something that I work in every single day. I work through every single day. Because without that foundation, I couldn't have done any of it. I couldn't have done anything. I couldn't have gotten to this day today. And it's one that not always is visible, but it's very real. And I know it's very real because once upon a time, I didn't hear. I don't know if it was ever even attempted to be explained to me. Honestly, that's how much I did not hear it. I literally, as early as today, I was wondering, has anyone ever cared enough to try to explain to me my faults? It's not always easy for us to see our own faults, right? But if you have even someone that tries to tell you those faults, are we able to even listen? Are we able to hear it without being on the defense, without putting up that guard that we were brought up to put up, right? If all of us, I believe, once upon a time in our lives have gone through something that we had to build guard mechanisms to be able to protect ourselves, to be able to get through that that portion in our lives, right? And so because we went through those things, because we are people who have put up those guards or have gotten through, right? If we made it through anything in our life, that means we got through it somehow. And whatever we went, whatever we put in our repertoire, whatever we put around ourselves to be able to get through those tough times in our life, sometimes our defenses that we put up to be able to drown out things, right? If we ever feel an attack or under attack, we put up some kind of defense to keep it away. And so I literally wonder if someone has ever even tried, because I don't recall ever someone trying to help me, right? I know I'm a person that helps others. I know I'm a person that is a giver. I know I'm a servant for others. But I really honestly can't think of anyone trying to tell me about myself. Even like, even my father was my bestest friend, my father. But he loved me so much. He never told me other than, physical things, right? But like, I'm talking about my character or the way I am as far as protecting myself. So I I've never really gotten to a place where I realize that if I speak on something, I come across as condescending, or I come across as knowing it all, or I come across as being tough in a sense. And I realized this year that I need to have growth to be able to have a softer side, or to tap into my softer side, and not always feel like I got to control everything, or I got to control the conversation, or I have to control, I am a person that is single, that has always had to, literally always had to take care of everyone else in my life, whether I was married or just a mother, meaning, a single mother, right? But even when I was married, I was the one taking care of everything, financially, physically, everything, right? The planner, the go-getter, the everything. And I was always in a place where I felt that I had to, you know, take care of everything. And that's the way I handled myself. But lately, God has really been working on my heart. Not in a loud or dramatic way, but it's in the quiet moments, teaching me to soften. Literally, it was something that I was able to hear. And that's how I know that it's God speaking to me and working in me, because I'm able to hear it. I'm able to understand that I do have to take care of that. I have to grow in that place, to pause before I speak, to not be brash and just listen to respond or listen to understand, to not always lead with control or defense. And I'll be honest, this hasn't always been easy for me. I've been through a whole lot. And I don't say that as an excuse or to make excuses at all. Life just taught me how to guard up, how to stay ready. And I don't say that that's a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing. But I got here because of that, right? I've gotten here to that point, to this point, because of that. So it's not, don't feel like I'm telling anyone that that's a bad thing or that that's a fault of mine. It's just something that I know I need to grow in, that I need to unlearn. How to stay ready has always been something that it actually took a long time to get there. But now I'm learning that softness is still strength. And peace doesn't require me to prove myself. The biggest and the hardest thing was even hearing it. I can't explain to you how much of a revelation it was to actually hear it. That's why I know it's been God speaking through people or through others to actually have me hear. It was something that I literally feel like I've never heard before in my life. I'm not joking. This season of growth has been about stepping back, breathing, and letting God do what only He can do. I don't always have to have the last word. I don't always need to be in control. I just need to trust. You have no idea. I didn't even know that I was doing that. I'm somebody who, if you're talking to me, a lot of times I'm literally thinking as I'm speaking. And I have to gather that too. And I had a friend that literally bought me a journal. It's cool to be kind. She gave it to me. It's green, my favorite color, if y'all haven't noticed. But one thing that I've always had a rough time doing is journaling, just writing down things. Writing down things. I am somebody who verbalizes things. I'm thinking and I'm speaking those things. I'm speaking, okay. And I'm talking to the other person like they know that I'm literally, if I could be jotting down things, that's what I would be doing when I'm speaking them out, right? Because I'm literally just thinking from the top of my head. And I'm realizing that maybe that's why journaling is a good thing. Because one thing I've always had a hard time doing is journaling. The only type of journaling that I've ever done is really like just if I'm in a sermon, if I'm in a class, I write down some notes, right? If I go to the grocery store, I have to write a list first. If I'm in a football game, I'm a good commentator. I'm a good, this is what happened, really. So those kind of little journal notes I do. I write captions of thoughts very well. But actually just sitting down and writing things out so I don't forget the things that I need to do, or I don't know. I'm still learning this part. Everything I'm sharing, I'm literally going through currently. And I'm literally still trying to understand it all. Because the truth is, my real desire is to reflect God's goodness in how I live and how I love. If someone sees that light in me and it brings them closer to God, then that's the kind of connection I'd want anyway. That is what my desire is. This is very, very personal, very, very heartfelt for me. But I wanted to come and to share with you all what literal internal growth I'm going through right now. Because, as I mentioned at the beginning of my series, journey of life, or the journey that I speak about, it's not all about weight loss. It starts on it starts on the inside, and what you build on the inside will reflect on the outside. So if you're in a season like that, one where God is softening your heart and showing you a new kind of strength, I see you. Keep going, because that's real growth. It truly, truly is. Keep pushing through with me. We are stronger together. If you have any comments for me, I would love for you to leave them in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe. This long, I hope it spoke to you. I really do. Thank you for listening. Keep pushing through with me. We are stronger together. Trust and believe.